Hello to our listeners. Welcome to Zafa Fest Oriental Dance Interview, where we bring you closer to different dance artists. Zafa Fest is an international Middle Eastern dance festival located in Estonia on a small beautiful island called Saaremaa. My name is Jane Gaio, head organizer of this festival, and I will be your host today. Our today's guest is a dancer who came to our festival this February. Her style can be described as India meets Oriental and tribal fusion. She has created her own dance style, IndOriental, and now she is giving classes about conscious breathing. Welcome to the first Zafa Fest interview, Elizabeth Medina from Spain. How are you?
Hi, Jane. Thank you so much. Such a beautiful presentation. Thank you. I'm good. How are you doing? Thank you for hosting me.
Yeah, no problem. We're doing great. Tell me, we haven't seen since February. How are your impressions if you look back to the trip to Estonia? It was your first time visiting Saaremaa and Estonia. How was it?
It was great, Jane. Actually, it took me a while to arrive, which is the thing, no? Finally, it's like, oh my God. Like I'm used to travel to India, but it was worth it, completely worth it. I had one of the best festivals, I think, in my life because I really liked the ambient, the people, the students, my colleagues, you guys. Everything was so beautiful, and the place is amazing. It takes place in a spa, which is like, hello. It's a beautiful balance between working a lot and suddenly you have the beautiful massage. So it was great. Beautiful conversations, beautiful dance partners. The shows were amazing. It was great. Great. Congratulations, actually. Yes.
Thank you. Did you have any expectations before you came? What were your thoughts on Estonia or how it's gonna be? What were your fears? Maybe you did have some fears about it?
I really trusted you because, well, I think you're such a great organizer and we were in touch so much. It's true that suddenly Estonia, like, I was like, wow, I think I've never even thought to travel there. Such a pity, I have to say, because it's a beautiful place. Really, really. I didn't have any fear. Basically, sometimes you think about the culture in terms as behavior, you know? So how are we going to react to each other? Like the students with the teacher or... That was the only thing I was wondering. And finally, everybody was so beautiful and we were having a great time. We were laughing a lot and enjoying. So, I mean, I had the good expectations, but the reality was even better. So, what to say, apart from thanks.
It's good to hear that you went away with a good feeling, because it is a long travel, especially for you. You had like whole day travel to get to the point. You arrived like in the middle of the night and you didn't even see where you are, you know, like, and you just wake up in a hotel and you don't know where you are.
Yeah, but you know, you were there waiting for me, and then I have Patrials also in the room waiting for me, and then Sarah was knocking through the door as well. I'm on the bed, but good night, welcome. So everybody was so really great.
It's great to hear that. So tell me, let's travel back in time even more than in February. Tell me, where did your professional dance career begin and how did you end up in India?
Wow, that's back on time, really back. I mean, I like to think as I've been always a dancer. Like, I was talking with this girl the other day as well, and I have pictures of myself, like my parents. I don't know, I'm the first. We are two sisters and I'm the biggest one. So my parents kind of always pushed me out because I don't know, I had this behavior of very gypsy kind of Spanish girl that always liked to dance and had the attention of everybody. So I have pictures of myself in restaurants on top of the tables, and everybody else is kind of clapping to me, and 4 years old. So imagine. And I always loved dance. And I think it, like, so many things happened. And one of that was destiny completely, because I always been taking classes. Like, I started studying ballet as everybody, and then I was doing taekwondo, and then, like, in my little town, like, you know, moros y cristianos in Spain, because you're living in Valencia. So it's like, how you would describe, okay, that's so interesting, how you would describe moros y cristianos party or to the rest of the world, because I never know how to explain it. You see, it's like right? Okay,
exactly.
Thank you. I mean, it's something that it's so in our blood, in culture here in this part of Spain. So there is always ballets, right? There is always people dancing on the street, and we are kind of performing where Arabs came to Spain. So it's a imaginative, I don't know, way to interpret cultural heritage, something like that. So I started there as everybody else in my town, like I was so young. And suddenly a company that was doing Afro-Cuban music and dance at the time kind of catched me. They saw me dancing. My boyfriend at the time was part of the troupe. So she's like, okay, do you want to perform with us? You have to learn this Afro-Cuban dance in a week, and I will. So I started just turning with them, and I started to have like real gigs with them. And I think I was 19 years old or 20 maybe. So this is how I started as a professional. I mean, I was professional because I was earning money at that time, but not really on my background of dance. So then I started to invest more money as well on taking lessons because I had money from it. So step by step, it became my job. And at some point, I was just a performer. And India was because I always had this connection. And really, Jane, I think it comes from past lives or something like that, because I believe in reincarnation. Because I always I was like, I want to travel to India, I want to go to India, I want to visit India, I want to be in India. And people was asking me, why India? Because you can choose whatever in the world. And I was like, I don't know, I just want to go to India. Like, the colors always really talk to me, and the cultural and the spirituality and the dances and, you know, like the music, art. So I just traveled to India. I think it was 10 years ago or something like that. And from that moment, I had to come back every year.
That's amazing. I actually totally agree with you about having one specific place. I think we discussed it when we had our first video call, that I have the exact same thing with Valencia, that I just knew that I will come here, and I don't know why, but I just need to come here, and that's my place. I need to find here something. And I don't know why, but it just is like this, you know. So
I think it's written, or it might be written, right? Or it's destiny, or it's instinct. I don't know, but something's going on. And this is a good message, actually. It's follow your instinct, because it's there. It's a little voice that keeps talking to you. So you don't stop it. Just pay attention to it. And sometimes if you follow your heart, something else happens. And finally, life goes on, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. And in India, you started actually learning in Shakti School of Dance. And who is not familiar with the Shakti School of Dance, it is a place for Indian dances, yoga, and their philosophies. And it's located more exactly in Rajasthan. And fun fact about it is, what I learned is the school is actually inside of a temple. Can you tell us more about the background of it? How is this possible?
I know it's magical as well. Yeah, because my guru, my teacher, Paulina Shakti, she also has this amazing life and story. It's in Pushkar in Rajasthan. As you can see, I'm doing Rajasthani Oda as well here. And we are so lucky that it's in Rajasthan because it has the power of the culture, like real powerful people with a lot of things to say about life. And so about the school, it's placed in a temple because of, as I was saying, her story, she traveled to India as well in the same kind of way, like I have to go to India, I have to study in India. She had a connection with Indian classical dance already in the United States, so she just wanted to go deep and deep. So she traveled to Odisha because the art form that I study, it's from northwest of India. It's located in the north, and we are in Rajasthan, so India, if India it's like this, so let's say one it's here and the other one it's where we are, it's here, so it's like there is no connection between them. But Colina was studying in Odisha, and then she was also studying gypsy style, Kalbelia, in Rajasthan. So she was looking for a place where she could just rehearsal, like train and rehearsal, while she was studying folklorical dance in Rajasthan. And she was one day walking on this beautiful temple, Old Ranji temple, and it was this man that it's the owner of the temple, and he asked her, I mean, Indians are very curious, so they always ask you, why are you here? What are you doing here? And they like to talk to you. So he was asking her, and he was so impressed about her story, because it was at the time, so maybe it was already like 15, 18 years ago. I mean, there was not so many tourists as we have in India right now. So he asked her, and she told him her story. So he's like, oh, why you just don't have a place here and train here? And she was like, oh, really? So they kind of exchange it. Yeah. It's amazing, because I'm going to tell you even further. So finally she brought, at the time it was her guru was a man. Now it's Sujata Mohapatra. It's another style. So she brought him here up to Pushkar, and people started to come as well to study with him. So suddenly it became a school. It was just not a school, not ready to be a school at the beginning, and finally became Shakti School of Dance after so many years. So they have this beautiful exchange, and I'm going to tell you even more, because the dance that we dance, it's Odissi. So it's related to Jagannath. It's an avatar of Krishna, which is one of the more maybe known deities on the Indian philosophy and mysticology. So actually it's a Krishna temple.
Okay.
So we are dancing for Krishna on a Krishna temple. And this is like, I think it's one of the only places in India where you are dancing like a temple dance in a temple.
That's amazing.
Jaima.
That's amazing.
Yes.
This is fate. This is fate. It can't be anything else, you know.
Exactly. Same again. You see, India is so magical. It's a magical place. They like to say "Sab kuch milega," which means everything is possible. Actually, I like to say, be careful about what you dream in India, because it will become reality, but like 100%, even double. So just be careful sometimes. India is so powerful. Yeah, it is.
Okay. So what do you think, what did you gain from studying there? What is different if you compare it to the schools that you learn Indian dance in Europe? What is that something special that makes it so unique, and why people take this trip to go from another side of the world to travel there to study it there?
I guess you have the answer in the question, because it's a trip on itself. I mean, what's the meaning? Like, I remember the first time I was ready to go to this school, like Colina selected me, and because it has a selection, I mean, it's like a whole process going on. So I think I was 23, 24, and it was the first time that I was ready to travel alone to a place like India for 3 months. So what that means, it's like such a huge journey, right? You have to stop your life here. Actually, I was studying in the Conservatory of Dance, Pedagogy of Dance, Contemporary Dance, and I just switched from there, like my last year to the first year of Shakti School of Dance. So it was a whole journey about being alone as a woman, traveling to a new place with a different language to study art classical form that comes from so many years ago, a tradition. I mean, what Odyssey itself, it's such a beautiful and powerful thing, but the school, it's true that has the cultural heritage, which means you are in India, living in India, with this cultural approach that gives you being there. So, and then it's a lot of women, you know, this powerful thing of being woman alone in India together, studying like until the last drops, this strong Indian classical dance. So I think it's like a whole of different things coming together. I found the best woman in the world there, like my sisters right now. And of course, Colina Shakti, she's an icon itself right now. And the way she presents their teachings and the lineage and Odyssey. I mean, I can go on for like 5 hours. it's the best, one of the best experience I ever had in my life. That's why I kept going and repeating, because it's amazing, really. Like the school is amazing and the women that comes there are amazing. So everything that's makes it amazing. So yeah, I really love it. It's my home. Heart home, I guess. Yeah.
How long is you said that you went there and you were on the first year of the school. So is it also like that you go there not to just take classes, and that you have like some kind of that you need to grow there? How is the system there?
It's a Indian classical way of training. So I mean, you can do drop-in classes just to test it, but if you want to study, you have to study. So the school opens 3 months per year. Like in the best season in Pushkar, I mean, it's Rajasthan, which is like hot. So it's usually on winter time, and at the end it's very hot. So in April it's already like 45 degrees, which is for like, imagine you're dancing 8 hours per day, Odyssey, so it's like goodbye. So you started when you start in the school, you have to be there always the first session, which means you're gonna start from the beginning. Like very beginning steps, like baby steps. And then if you are a coming back returning student, you can come back to the second month, and then you do second and third months, but you always do the beginning as well. So we train from A to Z, like completely A to Z, sorry. So all of us together. And then depending on your level, you study choreographies, like the concepts will change, but the very beginning, we study always together. Yeah.
That is great, because I see right now many people, they say that they are already so advanced dancers that they don't want to do the basics anymore. It's boring for them. But actually, I'm really glad that they also appreciate the way that if you want to be a professional, you need to have your fundament solid, you know? So
completely.
Yeah.
I think it's a way to train also, to retrain the brain, because that's an ego part. We have to crash with it, because we are artists. Artist means ego. There is a part where you have your ego to be an artist, right? So you have to crash it somehow, coming back to the beginning, because we are always learning. Like it's so important to understand that you might find something different, because your body changes, your mind changes, everything changes around you, so we have to change with it. So it's so important to come back to the basics, to check how we are and where we are, and then we can just go up, but we have to come back always. I'm still studying, and I hope I will study the rest of my life, because I love it. And coming back, it's a matter of discipline. So discipline is very important in a career, in an artist's point of view. Yeah,
I agree with you.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So tell me, you are right now giving classes about conscious breathing. Is this something that is connected with something that you learned in India, or is this something new that you discovered for yourself?
It comes from India as well somehow. It's everything related to everything, because there is different parts on these conscious breathing classes that I'm doing, but there is always the yoga philosophy behind that I've learned on the school, which is Vinyasa Krama Yoga, and it's an artful sequence of breath and movement. So we focus on the breath, and I find it very relevant and important in my own practice at home, because to stop the fluctuations of the mind, it's so difficult, and I really find very difficult to meditate. It's difficult for, I mean, the way I am, I'm fast, very fast with the mind, and like fast speaker, very Spanish. So I really find it very difficult. So it's a way that I can focus on the breath and stops my mind, which is amazing. It's a meditation for me right now. So I've learned about yoga philosophy and pranayama in the school, because this is two things that we have as a philosophy background, very related to Indian classical art. And low pressure fitness and hypopressive practice, which is as well part of this breathing, it's related to a fact that I had some issue with my body because of Odyssey, because it's so hard training, and it really hurts, and like it changed so much my body. So after going to the physiotherapist so many times, she was saying to me, why you don't try with hypopressives? Because I had a psoas issue going on, and it was related to my uterus, and then of course breathing, and then like just pulling it up. So I started, and then I find it very interesting again, and relevant, and really helped me a lot. So finally, Colina also kind of guided me through this way of mixing it, like how to approach all of this, but in a better way for the diaphragm, just to not, like to not work with impact, and make a balance between work with it, and then maybe pranayamas will balance it. So yes, somehow it's related to the philosophy of the school, but it's my kind of own method where I'm putting things that works for me together and just sharing with the rest of us.
Okay, and who would you say that could be the perfect students for this kind of class, or who are the ones who should especially check it out, maybe with some health problems? Or
I think it's pretty much a woman thing. I like to say and invite everybody, but it increases, for example, the lungs capacity, and it gives us a break from this life where it's very like with a lot of pressure going to the uterus. So it releases this pressure, and we also work with mental healing and health, because we are working through the focus on our own breaths and expanding the breathing. So I think it's a practice, like the people who's working with me now, they were people who were in a way a little bit stressed, like mind stress, and like feeling their own breath capacity very small. As well, people who was like maybe they gave birth, and so the pelvic floor is a little bit not okay again, not strong enough. People who has asthma, like really breathing problems, or dancers, because we like to train the core so much. So we need to train it, like I would say abdominals, not so good, but inner working really great. So women, but in different kind of things.
Okay, that sounds good. So if somebody felt connection to any of these problems that she mentioned, then definitely go check her Instagram out. She's doing classes from there. You can get more info from there. But tell me, Elizabeth, this is not the only thing that you have created. You have created your own dance style, IndOriental, and you are now doing IndOriental stage project. Tell us, what is the recipe for this dance style?
Great, thank you, Jane. So I guess it's like something that comes from my own experience. I put the name IndOriental because I thought it was a beautiful way of defining something, right? Because usually we say like it's difficult, tribal fusion dance, oriental, but fusion oriental, flamenco oriental. No, we like to put words together. So we came out with this beautiful word that was very specific. So IndOriental. Why? Because I've been trained in Oriental for so many years with Narges Montaser here in Spain. She's a Tunisian woman, an amazing dancer and teacher. So I started with Oriental, and then I find beautiful dances in India that I'm studying for so many years. So I like to say it's very rooted in India because it's like modern dances are the roots of India, but then the flow comes with Oriental and tribal fusion. So we have this very tasty and flavored recipe that it's like India and then Oriental and then tribal fusion. So it's like lots of ingredients in it.
Okay, and what is this stage project that you are doing about this dance style?
I find it out that many dancers, what they like is to do a choreography. Finally, we like to, of course, we like technique, but we like to know how we can place it in music, how we can move with this mudra, for example. Okay, you gave me the mudra, but now tell me how I can move with it. Where can I place it, right? When it's a new, when they are new, brand new concepts as mudras and padas, which are feet positions, or way of moving with the body, you know, like neck movement, these little details. So it's a mix between a lot of technique and how to place it in a choreography and how to show it to the audience. Because I also like to say, it's not about only how you move, but how you express your movements. It has to have this flavor. Actually, otherwise, even if you're doing great, if you don't have just a little bit of this flavor, it doesn't make sense for the audience. How the audience receives, no, what we are showing. So it's a mix of all of that, and I have these brave dancers now that are learning. I really like the choreography that I made because it's very intricate with like working with mudras and changing very fast. So let's see. It's the first time that I'm doing the stage project, and actually we are enjoying it so much, and I think it's gonna work so good at the end on a stage.
Okay, so the end product that you put together will go then on the stage all together.
Yeah, that's the point. Yes, it's like all of them dancing together on stage. Yes.
Okay, that sounds amazing. So tell me, if we travel back now from India, you mentioned also before that you went to a conservatorio. You're actually from Alicante, Spain. You're not from India. You're actually from way different place. Do you think, like you said before, that you started when you were really little, you started already dancing in tables? So tell me, how much do you feel right now that the Spanish culture and everything, how it has influenced you? Is there something left from that kind of crazy girl?
I hope so. I wish. Very innocent. Yes, definitely. Yes. I mean, I am who I am because of my background and how I grow up and my family and my friends. So there is a lot of this woman left, of this childhood and and teenager. So I think finally I always go back to my roots. Which means not flamenco, because I'm not a flamenco dancer. I wish, but never in my path. I don't know why, maybe for next life. But yes, of the spicy behavior that we have here in Spain. Actually, in the school, they really like, and they laugh a lot about how I am, like my fire. Because this is on on myself. This is part of me, and it's because how I was when I was a child and where I grew up, of course.
So
Yeah.
who didn't catch it, she is Spanish and she is not a flamenco dancer. She has not danced flamenco dance. This is, I guess,
Exactly.
something that is everybody thinks like, you're from Spain, you must know how to dance flamenco.
Completely.
Not
And if you
everybody.
have dark hair, long dark hair like this, it's even better. It's like, but you might look great. And I'm like, I don't think so, but thank you. Yeah, you're right. You're completely right. Like, ole, ole.
So,
I'm more used to yalla yalla or cello,
yeah,
no, which is
yeah,
oriental and Indian, than ole ole. So yes.
yeah. It's confusing for you. You're like watching a performance, and what do you think? Which is the first one you're gonna scream out if you see somebody performing? And what is
For
the first
me,
sound? Yeah, what is the first
I
sound that comes
would
out?
always do
Okay.
for sure. Either way, like even sometimes, whatever it happens, like a birthday, and I'm like, always, 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 yes.
Okay, okay. So there's still the oriental dancer inside you that takes the power.
It's like the power of the woman, I think.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes out.
Yeah. So who is Elizabeth in a normal life? If you're not on stage, not in dance class, we already talked you're from Spain, but what is something else that you like to do, or what is your other job that you do?
I love to travel. I'm crazy about traveling. I like to collect also treasures so much, as you can see again, which is related to Ninive. It's a Ninive Tribe treasures. It's like a little, very tiny little mark like I have, where you can find some dance treasures for our community. So this is a thing that I really like to do and take profit and advantage each time that I travel, because you can always find beautiful treasures, right? And I love to read, I love to write, I love to go to concerts and dance like as a normal person. I'm studying a lot. Like I started Chinese medicine last year. I had to stop it this year because I couldn't handle it with the rest of the things that I was doing, but I hope I can go on next year as well. So I really like to study. I'm always looking for something. I'm very fire, so I like to keep my mind with things to do and to learn. And yeah, that's pretty much my life. Like also having lessons, like I go to classes and I am a student. So yeah, that's pretty much what I like to do, I think.
Yeah, it sounds like if we sorry, my Estonian
Don't worry. What?
So it sounds like if for maybe for a normal person, they think that we are a dancer, we go to dance class, then we put a costume on, we perform, and then there's a second life that we live. For some cases, yes, but for you, it sounds like you try to not only create this one little life of a dance artist, but you want to create everything around it. You want to learn more about the breathing, your health. You want to know about the history, the jewelry. And this is actually from her collection. It's a fabric, super cool. I love it.
Me too, I love it.
So you need to check those out. She came with those to the festival, and they're really good quality. The jewelry of all of the girls were all over it. Everybody were like, oh, I need to buy everything. So yeah, they look very unique. That's what I really liked about it. They're not like your classical jewelry that you find in store. So
this is what I tried, because I am a freak. You see, this is mine. You can see that? It's Marvel.
Yeah.
It's Iron Man. I mean, I'm a freak. I really like this, like these details of life, like, I don't know, ufology. I like to read a lot about ancient history, that it's like the second phase of the history. You know, I like these tricky things. So that's why, for example, with Ninive, I like to find the treasures. Yes, I like to spend time and select it. And I am not good actually like nailing or, I'm so bad making, but I like to, I'm the one who's good observing and checking. And so I spend time on the selection and where it comes from, how is it made. It's like a woman who's working and has a good salary, like these things, because I like to help as much as I can, as much as in my around. And I didn't plan it. My partner is new, like a musician, is an artist, but I guess happens, no, right? When you're surrounded by this kind of ambient and people inspires you, so you try to get this inspiration and give it back to the community.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you. No, thank you.
So tell me, if any of our listeners don't know when it's recorded, it is right now April 2020. We are, I don't even know how many days in quarantine. So I want to ask you, what is your first plan work-wise that you want to do after they open the borders? Do you have any workshops coming out or tours, or what are your plans?
Look at this. Overcrossing everything. I had this amazing summer plan since, I don't know, maybe 4 months ago. I've been in contact, like Latin America, South America. It's part of my heart. I only been in Brazil so many years ago. When I was studying Afro-Cuban, we were doing also Brazilian, traveled to Brazil together. It was an amazing trip, but it's the only place where I've been. And I feel super connected with my community there, our community of dancers there. Like, we keep in contact, sometimes they just write me something very inspiring, beautiful words. Like, I feel super grateful without knowing them, just because, thanks God, we have technology. So if I'm lucky enough and life provides and it's my time for it, I will be traveling to Mexico in July. And somebody's hosting me there for workshops, but we don't have any advertisement yet because we are waiting. Let's see. From there, I'm going to La Riviera Maya as well to do some workshops, and Costa Rica, which is like dream place ever, like Costa Rica. Yes. And Guatemala. Rita Carolina is doing like Guatemala Tribal Fest, and like the lineup, it's amazing because it's Kira Habibi, me, and Gerard Macuen. I don't know if you know him. He's an amazing dancer as well. And so this is my plan for now, and it's a mix between holidays, traveling, treasures, and workshops. So let's see if it's my time for it. Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Like,
let's hope for the best.
Yeah, actually, Jane, if I have to be sick, I would love to be sick in a beach with a coconut in Costa Rica. That's my choice. I'm just saying it out loud in case life needs to know. I'm just saying.
Yes, yeah, of course. It's better to be in somewhere where you have sun and, of course, we are in Spain, but...
I mean, I'm grateful to be here, and I'm joking with sickness, of course. But I'm just saying, like, it's my choice. I hope the world is okay and to keep traveling. Because imagine without travels, for me, like, dance at home, okay. But if I can't travel, I'm gonna be in trouble. So for sure. So let's see.
Yeah, let's hope that our future travels won't be via Google Maps or via YouTube videos, that we can actually physically be in our new places soon.
Imagine.
And see the sun finally. So yeah.
And the sun touching you. Yeah. Or swimming. Oh. I love to swim. I love beaches, yeah.
Yeah. I'm already forgetting what the beach looks like, so...
Me too. And now we have dolphins. Come on, yes. I want to see the dolphins. Now we have dolphins all over.
Yeah. So let's hope for the best.
Yeah, Jaima again, yeah.
Yes. So for the last question, I have a surprise one for you.
Again, you're the woman of surprises.
Yeah, I always get some surprises for you girls. So
I love it. I love it.
we talked before about the festival and how it was, and we kind of talked a bit in the festival about this topic, but
Mhm.
I want to hear now, when you look back to it, what is your opinion? So let's imagine that I am a dance artist from
Mhm.
somewhere abroad. I have never been to Estonia like you in the
Mhm.
beginning. I don't know anything about Estonia or the dance culture. Tell me, how would you describe to me an Estonian oriental dancer? Or what tips do you have for me how to connect with them, or what not to do?
Um, I have to say that I was very surprised about the passion on it. Like everybody looked very passionate,
Mhm.
which I said, usually we like to think that it's mostly on our side of the country. Like, I mean, like south, like hot climate, you know, like the weather it's hot. So I was very surprised, really, this I have to say, about the passion on everyone that was on stage. Really, like even if that was more tribal fusion or oriental, I was very surprised. So sometimes you have to let it go. You have to let it go yourself. Like that's a tip that I always like to say to myself. Like the work is done. Now you have to let it go and dance. You know, you have you have the work done before you go on stage. So once you are presenting it to the audience, usually what we present, we are hoping that they have fun, they enjoy it, right? So you have to enjoy it. Then they will enjoy it with you. And one thing that I've learned from India that I think it's related to all of us, the rest of the world, even maybe even more for Estonian people, it's just, you know, because we like to focus and we are dancers, okay? You're not I don't know, you're not working with mathematics or logical stuff. You're not at your house just with your classes and checking. You're in front of people. Even if you're focused, you have to show them that you're focused in a different way, or even not showing them, you know? So we have to kind of, you know, put this mask on where you are, even if you don't remember, like any single step, like nothing, don't show it, you know? So we have to put this mask. So if there is a tip that I can say for Estonian dancers, but for the rest of dancers, it's always think that somebody is sitting there to have fun and have an experience. Maybe not fun, but an experience with you. So be part of this experience with them. Don't try to show from here to down, because this is included.
Yeah.
On the back, right? Yeah. So I think that's the thing that I would say. I was really very, very, very surprised about the passion. But sometimes it's just, you know, so kind of breathe in, relax, and just let it go. Breathe and dance. I think that's a good advice or tip.
And how about the workshops? Was it any different from the performances, or how you saw them? Like, because in the festival you had the opportunity to see the same girls performing and in the workshops.
Right.
Do you think, is there any similarities, or how is the personality?
There is difference, yes. I can say that from, but this is cultural thing as well. Sometimes it's like, are you here with me? I mean, because this is also my personality. I like to talk. I'm like touching everybody, you know. I'm like, yeah. So sometimes it's like, girls, just give me a yes. If I ask you something, don't be. But I think it's because they are somehow, they don't want to disturb, you know. That's cool, which is great, because when you have a full room with people, it's better if you kind of shut down. And but try again to let it go and go for it. Like, be present means being present, right? Yeah. So you can be calm, but interactive. So there was a difference. Actually, sometimes I was like, he was her, like it's the same girl. I mean, we change a lot, makeup, la la la, but also like how you present yourself sometimes was like, what? She was just very shy in the corner. So there is a difference. I can understand why. But at the end, the girls were very, very nice. Like, I think it took them a little while. But at some point when you feel confident and you show them that you are confident and everything is fine, and you can be wrong and you can have a mistake because we are learning, at the end they were more into it.
Yeah, I think for Estonians it's about warming up to the teacher, because especially if we have a first time somebody coming in, you want to be as respectful as possible. You don't want to disturb the teacher. You don't want to do everything perfectly, you know. Like, you can see that the artists who come already maybe second year or third year, you can see that people already know where is the energy. They know that, okay, this girl wants me to smile, otherwise she will kick me out, you know. So they kind of understand already, like, okay, I feel this teacher. I know that she won't get mad if I mess up or if I ask a question, you know. So yeah.
We never get mad of questions. People of the world, if we are in a class, please ask everything. I mean, if we have explained it twice already, maybe don't ask it. Just pay attention. But no, please, just shout aloud and ask, because we need people. Like, there is this phrase that I like to say always in Spanish, which maybe you can translate it better. That is, sin vosotras no hay nosotras.
Okay.
So we need each other, right?
Yes, yeah. Without you, there's no us. Like me, or
right? Exactly. So I'm here, but I'm here because of you guys. So please give it to me, and I will give you double if I can. I will give you as much as I can. So it's a good point. Ask, always ask. Okay. Even if it looks a stupid thing, because maybe the teacher didn't explain it, or no, somebody else is waiting for this question and nobody asks because they are shy. So even if it looks stupid, you know, please.
Yeah, I can't already count how many times I felt like I really want to ask something, but I'm so scared to ask in front of all the people. And then finally somebody raises the hand and asks the question, and you can see all the other people in the workshop being like, oh my God, thank you.
Clapping, right? Clapping.
Nobody were understanding anything, you know? So
exactly. It's like, why? And then the teacher becomes like, why, girls? You see, like, oh shit, I thought I was, you know, explaining better. So please. It's a reciprocity that has to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Or yes.
Totally agree. So thank you, Elizabeth, for joining us. It has been really nice to see you again, and let's hope that everything will go back to its new routine, not the old one, but a new one. So if somebody felt like you want to hear more about what Elizabeth is doing about the body conscious breathing and the IndOriental, then make sure you check her out in Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I will add all the links also with this interview. And also, if you want to get this beautiful fabric, she also has skirts and jewelry and the tops, really nice ones. So go look her up, and so thank you.
Can I say something as well?
Yeah,
I'm so grateful, Jane. Okay, so thanks to you, because it's always a pleasure to be talking with you, chatting, just having a conversation, dancing, everything. It's so fun and like normal as we were friends. I don't know, I really like it. I always enjoy it.
Yeah,
we are friends. I mean, years before. And I also want to say to people, so please come to this festival, Zafa Fest. It's amazing, and how they treat their guests, because they are guests. It's so wonderful, and they have this landscape that it's really like heartbreaking and like breathtaking and everything. And they have the best cats in the world. If you're a cat lover, you have to go to Saaremaa. I'm saying it very serious, don't laugh. If you're a cat lover, as I am, just go to Saaremaa, because they are ready for cuddles, always. I'm joking. That was like, I was very impressed. I had to say something about the cats. I had to. Not really. Like, please visit. Don't hesitate, and please visit their festival. They are also on. They have their own website and everything. And if you have the chance, go, because the artists are amazing, and you have the chance to learn, which is what we are looking at the festival, like real learning, and they will treat you with their hearts. So thank you so much to you.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for these kind words.